Sometimes you have to do absurd things that do not make sense on paper to get the creative juices flowing. You have to create new neural pathways in your mind, start new habits, break old habits, take a new way home from work, try on that different color khaki pant that you've been thinking about. I don't know, whatever it is, you have to try something different to get different results. And that is precisely why I invested in this typewriter in 2023 and why it's benefiting me now here in 2024 and beyond. This 1960s piece of history is nothing short of counterintuitive, clunky, and impractical. And that is exactly the point. This device does one thing, and that is takes my ideas as I'm formulating them and not so gently scribbles them down. There is no erase button or undo shortcut. There's no cloud storage. Heck, you can't even change the font, type emoji, or increase and decrease the size of the typeface you're working with. And it doesn't always do it right. Bars get stuck, paper runs short, ink dries out, or the ribbon gets to the end of its run. There's so many reasons to pass on something so archaic. But this machine has one sole benefit. It's that it's a tool with a singular purpose: to capture my thoughts in real time. It's so hard to describe to you without overselling or underselling it, like how wonderful it is to type on this thing. And it's not wonderful like there's no errors or problems. Like it's kind of a chore to use it in some ways, because the hammers kind of bump into each other at times, or they can if you're typing too quickly, or the ribbon will come loose, or you'll get ink on your hands, or a child will completely just jack up the ribbon, which is what happened to me. Things will go wrong with it. But again, typing out those first drafts and those initial thoughts, this has been a wonderful tool for that. There is one major concern I have with this endeavor, and it is the very limited knowledge and skill I have in repairing the slightest issues in my home and life. And upon researching options available in 2024, there really is a legitimate drawback to trying to troubleshoot, identify parts, and solve issues surrounding tech of yesteryear. And there's actually a repair shop near where I live, and got to go in there and meet that gentleman. He was in his 80s, and he repaired this typewriter kind of back to working order. It had just like a little bit of issue here and there, but we were able to get it fixed and ready to go. And honestly, that's probably the only kind of drawback to using something like this, is that the repair people out there are few and far between. If you can find a local repair shop near you, or you are really handy or know how to use one of these, then that's great. And honestly, typewriters that have been kept up with won't need any repairs. It's the things that you find that have been sitting around, laying around, or anything with rust or anything like that. If you don't know how to fix it, I would steer clear of using something like that. And obviously there are digital options now that kind of fill this gap. One specifically that I know of is the FreeWrite, which is a digital word processor that has kind of an offline approach where you turn it on, you key away. And in fact, if anyone out there wants to loan me one, I'd love to do a review on one. If you're watching this far into the video, however long this video ends up being, I'm telling you, this thing is for you. The units themselves range anywhere from $50 to thousands of dollars. But really $100, that's going to get you a solid device, solid piece of machinery that will last forever. Like if you use this every day or use this consistently, you will have no problems. Now, if you buy it and put it on a shelf and it gets rusted out, or you use WD-40 on it, or just completely mess it up, yeah, it's not worth it. Don't do it. Stick with what you got. But if you want something that will last forever, and when the world eventually ends, if you want a way to be able to offline type out your thoughts for the aliens out there, you'll have a way to do it. So I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to scare you, but the world is probably ending and aliens are probably real. So there's that.